Just crossing over. Got to go to Mount Vernon right now for an emergency service call. I don't normally work in Mount Vernon, and I kind of did this video because I was talking about this Acerbis tank. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have the vented gas cap on. Originally, when I got the tank, I waited till I got the locking gas cap, but I noticed like an interesting thing happening in the summertime. You know, now that it's warm, you get a lot of gas vapors coming out of that keyed cap because there's no ventos, you know, whereas this this venting cap has like a hose that you can route down, and basically I haven't seen anything dripping out of it, but you can see the discoloration on the top of the tank when I had the keyed cap on there. It's pretty evident that, you know, a lot of seepage was coming out of there. So, you know, not the greatest situation, and it smelled. But I noticed during the really cold months there was no problem with the locking gas cap. It was totally fine. So I don't know what the deal was with the air, with the temperatures and all that stuff. It must just be something that makes the gas expand more. And you know, I never got any gasoline on my pants, but it started to cause problems for my decal, so I immediately changed to the vented gas cap because I really didn't want. It's not expensive, this Rocky Mountain ATV graphics that I put on here, but I just didn't want anything happening to it. So yeah, I'm heading up to Mount Vernon. It's north of New York City, north of the Bronx. Not my normal service area. I just put new rubber on the bike. Kenda K270s. Pretty happy with those tires. They're aggressive, but not like a dirt knobby. They're a dual sport knobby that work well on the road. And they have pretty good traction on rough roads. Because what I realized with New York roads is you need to have something aggressive enough to handle the rough roads here. If you have something too tame, it just gets cupped. It gets all cupped up. Now, lane splitting on this 87 is fine, but this road is very dangerous, like at night, because people do the white line in, you know, white line in driving in cars, and they get pretty crazy. I forget what the other name is for that, but I talked about it in my video, so you gotta watch it if you're on a bike here at night. Not too bad during the day, but still pretty crazy. You gotta watch your shit around here. This is a rough road. I don't really like taking it, but when you're going to Mount Vernon, there's really no other choice. You know, this is it. going up to Mount Vernon. You got not too many other choices. This looks like it's going to be jamming all the way up. Only thing you got to watch out for is when you get into New York State. There are New York State police here that when they get an itch up their ass, they're pretty bad. So yeah, if you're gonna get now, as far as the Acerbis tank, I can highly recommend it for this bike because the XR is actually doesn't get as good mileage as the KLR. You get about 45 miles to the gallon. If you're pounding on it, you know you'll get maybe 40. But what a fucking dickhead, man. So based on the mileage that you get on the XR, you need a bigger tank. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. I would even wonder how people could ride off-road like in Cali. Like if you're up by north of Santa Barbara riding in the mountains there, you could go 10 miles up into the mountains and 10 miles back. Really rough riding. That's just tame stuff. Like if you were to really take it and go nuts, you could run, you know, between Ojai and all the way to through the mountains, through the foothill mountains, and bring you out to the north end on the other side of Calabasas. But you know, like that would be Orsini Valley. Well, I've taken some trails with people there where we really want to make sure we have a full tank of gas, because without a full tank, you'd be in trouble. Like, you'd actually really be in trouble. You know, so if you're just doing a little off-roading, the XR is fine if that's your only bike. But it's an awfully tall, big bike, heavy for 100% off-roading. It's kind of like a bike that actually fits perfect for New York. So it's a perfect New York bike. I mean, I have no problem with the bike in New York. Just the tank. The only issue is the gas tank. The fuel tank is just way too small for going around, like for example, like a highway run like this. You have to be real careful to make sure you have enough fuel, because if you run out of fuel on this bike on the freeway, you're going to be in trouble. it's not going to be fun. I mean, now you're not going to actually run out because you just flip the switch into reserve. But you know, if you don't remember which direction is reserve and off, you know, you're going to be fumbling with it. And on the stock tank, when I did flip it into reserve one time when I ran out of gas in New Jersey on Route 78 coming back from Somerville, New Jersey, I did a trip out there and a trip back, and I forgot to fuel up, and I went all the way from the Upper West Side. So as I was coming down the hill into Holland Tunnel, the bike sputtered. I had to get gas immediately, but I switched it to reserve. You know, it actually ran out of gas, and then I had to lean the bike a little bit to get the fuel from the other side, and it just wasn't pretty, man. It was not a good situation. Wasn't a good situation, actually.